if you don't know or don't have a clue, we have done a lot of traveling in our time, a lot for business and also for personal leisure. I'm going to list off a lot of countries. I'm not even talking about cities in America, okay? Because then we'll be here forever. But let me talk about the countries that we have visited. Now, for business, we've been to Canada, we've been to Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, Grenada. Oh my gosh, see? Those are the countries we've pretty much been to for business. Now, as far as leisure, oh, we could be here all day. We've between the two of us that I know of. We've been to Costa Rica, England, France, Thailand, Australia,
Peru, New Zealand.
Peru and New Zealand. Like I told you, we could be here all day. Those are just like the top few. Traveling is near and dear to our hearts. And you know what else is really close to that? Saving our coins. Because you know what? Contrary to popular belief, we are not millionaires. Sorry, I know you probably thought we were millionaires. We're not millionaires. You see that manifestation? Tune into that video. You see that manifestation? We want to talk to you today about how to travel like a boss and save some money. So, Kanika, what are some things that you do when you are looking for flights or looking for hotels, place to stay? What do you do? Where do you start? How do you save?
I start so many different places. I first go onto my credit cards. I see how many points that I have accumulated to see if any of those points can translate into a ticket, whether it's one way or both ways or hotel fare. And I start looking there. If I do have enough points that could, take away some of the costs, that can absorb some of the costs of my traveling, then I start looking on their platform. I'm looking to see what flights they have, and I start working my schedule around that.
Whose platform are you talking about? You said their platform. Who platform? Which platform?
Oh, specifically Delta, JetBlue. I'm not even going to lie. Those are the only two I fly with. As far as our American brands, right? And so, but Caribbean Airlines as well. That's another one that I on their loyalty program. I always look for whatever flights and schedules that they have because I tend to have points for those airlines. So I always start there. But another place where I start, if it's not for business, let's say, and I want to travel or I want to go somewhere, I actually go on Google. This may be something that some of you know about, but let's just say that you don't know about this. I go on Google and I click on Google Maps or Google Flights. I click on the map and then I put in travel in the next 6 months over a weekend or for a week. And then I just expand and it shows me flights that are affordable in the next 6 months to different areas within the scope of what I searched, within like the visual scope of the map. And I pretty much go based off of what the prices are. And lo and behold, that's how I've snagged some really affordable flights to some countries without paying an arm and a leg to get there.
But even like going back to what you were saying before, because that may have went over some people's head. The way you get points is that you need to go and have the right credit cards to get these points. You either have the credit cards, they are attached to the airline, or if you have certain credit cards like American Express, banks that have rewards or travel rewards when you spend a certain amount on your credit card. Now, we're not advocating for you to put a whole bunch of debt on your credit card just so you could travel. But if you already are paying for things in your business, why not use a credit card that rewards you with travel points or with airline points, so you can actually use that at a later date to go to the city that you need to go to for less. That is already one area that you should be looking at. Also, when you're looking at hotels, that's another way. If you are part of their VIP program or their platinum program or their royalty program, whatever it is that they call their special guests or their frequent guests, that's what you should look into. Now, we tend to go with certain brand. Now, there are all these hotel chains that are across the world. If you stay with that brand city after city after city, you're going to start to reap rewards and gain some free nights from being in that hotel if you frequent those hotels enough. So you got to think about that because loyalty pays.
Right.
That is how you can travel like a boss. And not only that, now let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a quick story. We basically, so I'm not going to tell you the brand because, I'm not trying to mess up my coins, but so we have we're part of a loyalty program for a particular hotel. We will go and try everything, like any business that we have to do, we bring it to that hotel for the most part, because that all racks up points. Okay. So we are talking about we're going to sleep, eat, we're going to host events, we're going to do it all at this hotel. And we travel and we go and we keep on hopping around from city to city with this hotel. Now, we have a couple of hotels that we have loyalty programs with. So, if one acting shady, you just hop on, skedaddle over to the next one, and you can do what you need to do. Hotel and flight are huge. Now, another thing we do is that we try to stay within the vicinity of wherever the festivities or wherever the conference is going to be. So if you have a conference that is downtown, but then stay downtown because you're going to spend more money Ubering into downtown than you need to. So we stay as close to the festivities as possible. How do you do that without breaking the leg? You got to start booking early. Kanika, how early do we start planning our pop-up shops?
Oh man, we easily start planning 8 months out in advance. 8 to 10 months. Like right now, we have a major pop-up that we host at the beginning of every year. And we literally start planning that the summer before. Okay, so you could just imagine the beginning of the year is winter for all of us who are here in the USA. And we start planning from the summer before. So that's easily 6 months out. You have to get on it early.
Proper planning prevents piss poor promotion. Okay?
Absolutely.
Remember that. You have to remember that. Like, jump on things early because you're more likely to find deals early than later. Now, I'm not saying that you can't find deals later, but if you're a business owner, it's hard to plan other activities and conferences and workshops that you may want to host if you are not jumping on a flight deal until 3 days before your intended workshop date.
Exactly.
So it's hard. No, go ahead.
Exactly. Especially when you are the one hosting the event. We're not talking about us business owners who are being flown out to these events, because then, the person who's sponsoring you is responsible for that. But if you're hosting an event, you have to make sure that you are in the city or the town that you say you're hosting your event, because you owe it to your customers who are already looking to see you at these events. I just wanted to touch on the loyalty cards and the loyalty programs real quick again. So remember, the loyalty programs are free. They are free. Anything that is free is gravy in my book. Okay, it's a little bit of curry in my book. I'm good. Like, let's get on it. Get those perks. The airline credit cards, don't run up any debt, but definitely you can get other perks too, as free bag checks. So you don't have to worry about trying to squeeze everything into a carry-on. You could get your bag checked for free. You could get anybody who's on your itineraries bag checked for free. And so these are also money-saving options that you get. Not only were you able to use some points, but you're also able to get your bag checked for free. That is a big deal because nowadays they're charging you upwards of $35, $40 per bag just to put it on the belly of the plane.
Crazy.
It's crazy. That adds up, especially if you're just taking a round trip and you have 2 bags. Like, that's $160 right there. And that could be the cost of a flight from New York to Miami twice.
Seriously.
Not on Spirit. So that adds up in that way. Also, with the loyalty programs with the hotels, Keisha mentioned you get free nights. You could also get a complimentary car. You get like access to diners and dinners. You could save money that way too.
And you know what? If you're going to be traveling to another location or another country rather, don't be afraid to utilize local services because, honey, make your dollar stretch. Make your dollar stretch. In these other countries, there's services that you may need for personal reasons or even just traveling around, taxiing around. You can get at like a dime, okay? Worth a dime. It's like a drop in the bucket. Do not feel intimidated to use local services because you could save money that way instead of trying to like, ship all your stuff from the US or from your local city. You can use local services and save. Just utilize vendors, local vendors. You're in a business. So as a business owner, you should be always thinking about trying to save money, save your coins. And the best thing and the most thing that sucks up all your money is travel costs. Darling, next time you're looking for a flight to go to wherever, you better make sure that you just rewind this video and come again. Take some notes because these bosses right here, we haven't paid full price for anything in a long time and we still traveling. We're traveling good.
And we don't plan on either.
And we don't plan on it either. There you have it. These are just a few tips on how you can travel like a boss. And what?
Save some money.